Hey people, Paul Wilson Lindner Jr. here, aka Positive Paul. Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. And we'll try to do an all over the map video. I'll try not to get too wound up. It could go up, down, sideways, who knows, northeast, west, south. Yeah, maybe I'll have some good news concerning the gospel at the end of this. And, you know, with these UFOs, these mysterious UFOs, these unidentified aerial phenomenon. I remember all the hype concerning the disclosure, and it seemed like the only thing the mainstream media could do is, "Ooh, the Pentagon has released footage of a supposed triangle craft buzzing around," but yet they can't figure out what it's up to, where it's coming from, who they are, and again, most of us realize that we're being strung along. And the one thing that I noticed, though, concerning any UFO report that even makes it up to social media and has some attention, the one common thread that these individuals all have is they're all one hit wonders. Somehow they were at the right place at the right time and able to capture uh, essentially what still is kind of unbelievable for most of the population, but more so, it seems that there are a few people that can report on this, and I'm one of them. But the problem with me is this has occurred on a consistent basis now that I've been reporting on it since 2016. Now, can somebody definitely 100% be at the right place at the right time to be witness to a strange event up in the sky, up in the heavens? Well, of course. Now, can on the flip side, can they stage something? Let me ask you this. We know up in a place called ESETI, up in Trout Lake, Oregon, I believe, right? That seems to be a hot spot of UFO activity up on Mount Adams. And Mr. James Gilligan has been reporting on this for well over, I don't know, 20 years, even longer. But do you notice though that with these UFOs that are buzzing around him, he can't relate this to the fact that possibly this is all a symptom, a effect of the biblical narrative intersecting with the conspiratorial narrative. Now, we know that there's many groups, individuals claiming that the people that operate these UFOs, that they're in direct contact with them. And Gilligan's one of them. In fact, he even said on Coast to Coast over the weekend that he's talked to Jesus. And Jesus had actually introduced him to Babaji, introduced him to all the ascendant masters, right, folks? I report, you decide. And it seems like, again, as I stated, most of these other reports, wherever they come from, they're all from one hit wonders. Now, when I report on this, it's pretty obvious for most of you that have been watching my videos. This all relates to my MK Ultra involvement as a child back in the 60s and 70s, satanic ritual abuse, but more importantly, these implants. That is the main reason why these flyovers occur. Now, I have my ideas about exactly what was done to me as a kid, between definitely from the get-go, but between the years of 1980 and 83, more specifically. But I keep consistently, week after week, month after month, year after year, since 2016, putting up UFO footage. And this has caused me to be essentially probably one of the most censored people on the internet. And remember, someone in my situation, they might be seriously beat down. I got this old iPad. You can see the crack right on the screen right there. That's what that is. But what we're going to do is look at another anomaly breakdown concerning these UFOs that are always hanging around me. Now, when we open this up and we look, the first thing we see is the American Nazi reptoid Satanist perp plane with this luminous, opaque, spherical object with electromagnetic field around it. Now, what we do is, when we examine this footage, and in this particular video from November 26, 2021, 11:19 a.m., this is a typical flyover. My ears will be ringing, my right ear will be pulsating, and these assholes have dirty drawers. Now, when you look at this, you see how the UFO comes over, right? You see that, right, folks? Now, look what happened, though. Do you see what else is there? There's something else. Now, keep in mind, folks, that in order for you to believe that what I tell you is not the truth, you'll have to believe something else. Now, when I tell you that this relates to satanic ritual abuse, because I was put through satanic rituals from the get-go, due to the fact that my great-grandfather's older brother, Carl Henry Lindner, was at the, right there at the top concerning these Illuminati, Schmuminati characters. He made a bad choice a long time ago, but he's one of probably many that sold their family out. Now, when I relate these UFOs to all this, and then when I look around, specifically in the United States, to these people that hand in these reports, that essentially they're individuals, sitting on lawn chairs with bags of Doritos and binoculars, waiting for some lights to appear in the sky? Or are they God-fearing Christians that might understand that the Great Deception will consist of many things, but there will be signs in the sky, and we know that the duplicity of it all concerning these black magicians, these Satanists, these witches, these wizards, these observer of times, these familiar spirits that we're told that they're on a limited amount of time, and there's supposed to be this transition, right, folks, to where the world transitions into a 1,000-year peaceful kingdom. Now, I guess most of you just want this wickedness to continue, as far as I could tell, because it's like, be careful what you believe in. Buyer beware, right? When you believe a lie, you live a lie. So here I am. I keep reporting on this. I seem to be one of the few people that can do these breakdowns and state the day, the date, the time, and nobody else can. Why is that, folks? Why do you think that is? That, look at this. This video is just crazy because I'll show you. Watch this. It's just, look, there's so much. Do you see that, folks? I don't know what to say to you anymore. All right? See, you think the aliens are coming. You're still waiting for the Anunnaki. Yes, the Anunnaki are nice. The cuneiform tablets, the hieroglyphics, I know. But why do I continue to do this? Because I guess I can. Even though I'm one step away from being out on the street. And that's the end of Positive Paul. And you know what, though? I've held my head up high. I've got these American Nazi Satanist creeps camped out down here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, slandering me. Every time I try to go witness to somebody, if they can get to them, oh boy, they do. And, you know, I don't blame these poor Mexicans. They don't understand what's going on. You know, satanic ritual abuse. What the hell is that? I've been poor my whole life. I've been sleeping on dirt, rice, and beans. What the hell is satanic ritual abuse? Do you see the disconnect? Now, this is a global phenomenon, though. I'm like, again, I tell you people, I could be anywhere, and they'd have to do the same thing. Now, let's slow down for a minute. Let's slow down. Let's slow down. What I want to do is, I want to show you people something I came across that is very disturbing. And we'll look at some of these screenshots. Now, we're going to get back to this hybrid thing. Now, most of you numbnuts out there in the fairy tale social media landscape think that someone that has reptilian eyes, slit eyes, is automatically either a reptilian or a hybrid, or who knows. But the people that claim all this, they're the ones that can't even show their faces. They're the ones that they're one-trick ponies. They can only do the same thing over and over again. But they won't acknowledge that little boys and little girls were put through satanic rituals. And that if this was the case, that these poor, helpless, defenseless children that these Satanists had their hands on would display some of maybe these attributes that these so-called do-gooders out there in the social media fairy tale landscape claim that, oh, okay, they understand what's going on. But see, when you see these reports, they're all people that come from, you can just hear it in their voice, the level of comfort and arrogance too, some of them. It's just astounding. But why would that be like that, folks? Now, remember what I was telling you about these assholes on YouTube now are so desperate, the controllers, that they flood my channel now with all this garbage concerning satanic ritual abuse. People that can't even show their face, their story doesn't even add up. They can't even connect themselves to anybody. Like they have maybe someone that's within the military-industrial satanic complex, an Uncle Carl lurking in the shadows. No, they don't. You get this numbnuts, the R&M supercomputer. Why would they be flooding this garbage on my home feed? And this guy's still doing the same thing, duping the same people. Some of these so-called targeted individuals, the hanger-ons, like these Wolverine characters, that still purport this R&M supercomputer. And yes, they would love to have something like that. I always say that, folks. Of course, they do. But we know exactly what these creepy Canaanite social media frauds are put there for, to confuse, mislead people that might need help. Now remember, this is an all over the map video, so who are the targets, folks? Top of the list are these satanic ritual abuse survivors in my age group. They sidelined 2 generations, the one before mine and mine. But there's still people walking around that, for whatever reason, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is who I attribute my survival to. They're still there, but I would like to see more people come up with some type of testimony that adds up and can at least show you something. But no, it's, this phony baloney targeting program. And it's just amazing when I hear people cling on to this notion. And I would say that not everybody, but all they can do is relate their problems to this mysterious government targeting program, right? These asshole American Nazis running around the United States through the Freemason network, hassling, harassing people that, they're whistleblowers, okay? Where are they at on the list? Let's back up. Satanic ritual abuse survivors, then the military, and then whistleblowers. But the whistleblowers are all dried up, folks. Do you understand that if you're a whistleblower and you've been hired, I'm going to clue you into something. For guaranteed, for the past at least 40 years, as they've cleaned up the bureaucracy, meaning placing these hybrids in these positions that can decide who lives and who dies, who gets financial assistance, who gets thrown out on the street to be harassed, what happens is that you're screened. If they think you're going to turn into a whistleblower, you won't even get your foot in the door. Do you understand that, people? And if you're a whistleblower, you're not doing videos with a bookcase behind you. You're not doing videos with a bank account intact, an ATM card that works. I don't know if you get that part. So yeah, the big whistleblower. Now, with these freaks, all right, look at this guy's face. They're always got to touch themselves to correct. And look at his eyeball. These hybrid freaks. Remember, it's age groups. The original hybrid groups that would have been between 1947 and 1960 will have the most electromagnetic distortion. And you're going to notice this on their eyes, mouth, hands. Oops, excuse me. I'm back. So with people that would have been put through serious experimentation using electromagnetic energy, they will definitely have some type of distinct, I would say, usually with most people, it's in their eyes. And this is from Fritz Springmeier. When you see these individuals that are put through trauma-based mind control, all this experimentation, their left eye will become droopy. And then you see that in some of my pictures. Now also, what's interesting is that if anybody that has the slit eye is automatically reptilian, okay? And we know that these Satanists, they only get their rocks off on real humans that are connected to the Abrahamic blood link, the ancient Israelites. That's what these rituals are about. Sacrificing a baby hybrid, a baby reptoid, does not cut the mustard for Satan. So the thing of it is, what I've been saying is that these sacrifices have all dried up. There's very few, sorry to say, very few babies being born that are not completely hybridized. Meaning, yes, that, if there was a group singled out to maintain some type of genetic pureness, then if we've come down to a situation where the satanic ritual sacrifice is based off of destroying one group that seems to not go along with the program, that, when are these 144,000 going to be identified and up and running? Because that's the point I'm trying to make right now. Have we whittled this down to where these 144,000, that's it? Everybody else is essentially, we're all mutts, right? These mixed. Now, with these MUFON characters, okay? Again, by virtue of what all the numbnuts on social media say, if you see the slit eye, that makes you an automatic reptilian. Now, MUFON is supposed to be this benevolent organization that helps UFO experiencers. Because remember, folks, if you have a UFO experience, you're not capable of understanding it. You're not capable of dealing with it. You need to call MUFON. Now, what's interesting is MUFON, right? MUFON got on the shit list of Bill Cooper. Remember? Years ago, around 1991, Bill Cooper was mad at MUFON. Here's a cool, look at that. That's an orb. That, what is that? Is that an Anunnaki princess there? That's in one of my videos. That was an orb floating around behind me. This is what cracks me up, that none of these people can show any of these pictures. And they don't talk about implants. See, that's what was going on for years. The bleeding stopped maybe 5 years ago. But that's what they're trying to cover up. These no-goodniks. So you know what I want to do? I want to look at something. Here's a quick story. Maybe, it was probably 2017, whatnot. I'm hiking around in the back hill country here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and I walk along, and on a retaining wall, I see this huge statue of a lion that has red paint on its face. I'm like, wow, that looks pretty cool. But when I saw that, it made me think of something that during this whole process that I've been watching, all these so-called individuals, David Icke, Steve Quayle, James Gilliland, all right, take your pick, it goes on and on, Jim Mars, Tex Mars, all right, the list, look, I've listened to them all, Jordan Maxwell, they all hang together. But they have one thing in common. They have pictures of lions in the background in their videos. And why is that? Why is that? Well, if the lion from the tribe of Judah is the root of David, and this lion is going to come back once again to redeem his people, do you think that that's a good way to maybe subliminally kind of use this symbol? Now, I took this and I made this my YouTube symbol, which, look, 7 years later, I don't need to change the name of my channel. I don't need to change my my picture. It's what it is, you know? I mean, I see this stuff and I look at it and it's like nobody else gets it. Nobody else gets it. Now, all you people that love your hand signals, right? Right? We know who that is, right? With these hand gestures. Do you realize, though, that if you're someone under the age of 30, and I see this all day long from these kids, they don't even know what they're doing. They're doing this unconsciously, all right? Now, do some of these gatekeeper frauds, do they do that subliminally to suggest? Yes, of course, for all you predictive programming people. And that's another thing with these numbnuts that all they can focus on is, oh, the predictive programming. They're glued to Hollywood. And yes, we can pick up on clues of what their next move might be. But the end of it is no man knows the day, the hour, but we know the season, which is now. So, very interesting that what I'm going to show you next, all right? Look, I report, you decide. You tell me if I'm wrong, people, all right? You tell me if I'm wrong. Whoops, let's get that right up there. Let's see. There we go. Is that a hand? What the hell is that? Do you see that, people? Most of you might not even know who this is. He actually is a very smart individual. Very smart, but something's not right. Something is not right. These Camaro Clown Club stalkers who I gotta try to get to convert. Okay, let's go over this. I keep talking about the mark, all right, with these Rosarito Beach, Tijuana, San Diego Camaro Clown Club stalkers. Who does an 8-year investigation, never to question nobody? What kind of asshole investigator does that? Well, an American Nazi, creepy CIA Canaanite goofball would do that with their FBI pals from Homeland Security. Who rides around aimlessly in Camaros, man, all day long? All right? So let's look at the mark. So here's a typical Camaro Clown Club stalker from about a month ago. And very interesting because this particular individual is in knee deep with Satan and these American Nazis, and they don't even realize it. And I have nothing against them. If I see them with the flat tire, I'll help them change it. If they're sitting on the road upset, I'll ask them how they're doing, if I can lend a hand. But yet, they've been convinced that somehow driving around these Camaros, and look, this costs a lot of money with gas, but see, once you get in knee deep and you start taking blood money, you're getting houses built, cars given to you, and you turn a blind eye to this supposed cartel that's running amok, the mark will appear. And when that mark appears, that means you're in knee deep. And short of your own repentance, it could cost you your salvation. But see, what do I know? I'm just a dumb American satanic ritual abuse survivor that I wouldn't do anything to anybody. I would love to know exactly what they tell you people down here in Mexico, these so-called investigators. Now, right there is an investigator cut in front of me. But again, what's right above the truck? That mark. See, it don't look like much, but unfortunately for this individual, he's in knee deep too, because he's got himself involved in a false matter. They don't know about Exodus or Leviticus. Thou shalt not profit off the blood of thy neighbor. But see, they don't look at me like I'm a neighbor. They look at me, ooh, I'm the white guy, right? they can get back at all the problems that these white people caused, right? Through me. But I'm the crazy criminal. And just, forget about the cartel. They don't even have to investigate the cartel. What do you think would happen if the cartel got wind of these community watch types, these snitches? What do you think that they would do to these Mexicans? Tell me. So these stalkers with the mark, all right? Again, I don't know what to tell you. I just keep witnessing. See, none of these frauds on social media can show you one picture. Typical stalker with the mark, trying to hide his face. See, it's a vaudeville act, folks. And who races around with these Camaros, cutting in front of me? And look, I've been on foot for 2 years, so who's the asshole? They gotta drive around with at least 50 of these numbnuts stalkers. That these Mexicans, I don't get it though. Like these perp academies, I don't know what they teach them. It's just, like I said, it's one big Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Circus vaudeville act. Charlie Chaplin would be proud, driving around aimlessly and spending tens of thousands of dollars on one individual. It's just nuts. There you go, Camaro Clown Club stalker in San Diego with the UFO bouncing up and down. You need to watch the video. There he is again. I don't get this. It's the mark right there. The police. It doesn't matter who. All right. You're hanging around me, and you're not on the right side of this. It can mean bad luck. The mark. We got to get this through our heads, people. And it's sad to see who gets involved. The neighbors, like the ones that are fully committed, they actually they kind of run and hide now when they see me walking down the street, because they don't understand that they're part of this big community watch, but the only person they have to keep an eye on is me. It's just amazing. It's amazing how these people would be so hypocritical. And again, I got no axe to grind. Here's the very first photo from this iPad, January 14th, 2014. All right. Right there's the mark in San Diego, looking out the window there of my old apartment on Mentone Street in the alley there. There's Mission Beach right over there. There's the mark, January 14th, 2014. Now these Camaros, it's amazing that they go through all this trouble. I don't get it. Like, if I counted every single Camaro up, we're probably over 100 by now. Because this has been going on since 2017. I picked up on it. But here's one of the old hags, this stalker hag, standing on the corner. These clueless dopes with the mark right above the school there. You see that, folks? This clueless hag stalker, that it's amazing who they recruit. They don't see, these Satanists don't care. They're just using these people. And when they're done with them, yeah, they'll be, when the lights are out, stores are closed, the stalkers will be calling all these contacts, and they won't even answer their phone because they'll be long gone. And they'll just be like, yeah, I guess, oh well, right, folks? That's the best we can do. So yeah, some people, they spend their time, I guess, plotting, planning. Who knows? Look, if I disappear tomorrow, I would say that I make up probably at least 10 to 15% of the local economy around here. All right? These numbnuts that are giving these cars and these businesses to play games with me. But they don't care about the truth. They wouldn't even care about the truth. See, at this point, it's like I said, What's this about? They're just getting their rocks off, hassling an American who's trying to tell them that, well, I would stick your nose in a Bible and start reading the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, because pretty soon you're going to be on your knees looking for somebody to help you out. And because you didn't know better, that somebody is going to be long gone. So yeah, so here's a hybrid walking by the other day with I don't know what that is. That's not a lens flare, people. I checked on that. But yeah, they're getting desperate. So you can see they removed all the photos on this iPad between January 14th and April 2018. Ooh, big investigation. Yeah. Screwballs. So yeah, what happens is they've spent millions of dollars down here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and Tijuana to try to keep this psychological mind game going against me, which is just a joke, because once I'm gone, I'm going to come back and haunt all of them. And so what happens is, see, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the Holy One of Israel, he can cause chaos wherever he wants. And what happens is, when things really get too out of hand, he will create like a total tornado of just complete chaos. And in this case, the typical Camaro Clown Club stalker working at the syndicate owned building, right, couldn't, leave well enough alone. So what happens is chaos is sent. And see, this is what happens when you get out of hand. I guess, well, hey, who knows what happened there, right? Somebody was mad at somebody. Pretty interesting, huh? Pretty interesting. Somebody was mad at somebody. And this is the end result. Now, these neighbors, all right, that get involved with these Camaro Clown Club stalkers, this old guy right over here, hiding in his house, this little snitch. And they're all over the place. They got a retired investigator that's been set up and paid off, bought and paid. But do you think they care about a human being that's suffering? Nope, right? Because they've been poor Mexicans. That's their excuse for hassling me. And because I speak the truth, they would rather, what? Just disregard any type of normal decency and what? Live like an animal? Really? Who does that? That they run around trying to buy off these neighbors, buying off whoever they can buy off for one individual? Wow, that's pretty crazy, right? Now, would these people, have they done anything concerning the crime in their country? No, they've been sitting hiding in their houses because they know what happens. Here, I'll show you what happens when you harass and you stalk the cartel. Do you want to know what happens, folks? This is what happens. Whoops. This is what happens. All right? Consequences could be deadly. So, see, I walk around full knowledge knowing that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his only begotten son, Yeshua, has my back. And I would gladly love to see some of these American Nazi reptoids that run around town slandering me, buying off whoever, show their faces, but they can't. And so instead, because they're cowards, and they're hybrids too, most of them, and that's what's sad, these people don't even understand who they're dealing with. They will look these Mexicans in the eye and lie right to their face. Now, how do you think these Mexicans would hold up under a deposition? some of these neighbors if they were cross-examined about who they've been talking to. And have you taken any money, any blood money? Do you think that'd be interesting, folks, to find out? Do you think? So, yes, here I am in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, the most dangerous municipality in Mexico. Murders, kidnappings. See, very interesting articles have been, written about what goes on around here. And again, if they'd leave me alone, I'd keep my mouth shut. I just want to take care of my son and have my life, have peace of mind. But see, these American Nazis that had their hands on me can't go away. They did something they can't turn back from. Now I'm losing my voice over this. But see, if this keeps continuing, all right, and we report it, right, to Al Bielek, that what happened is when the natural disaster occurs, we know Tijuana and San Diego get wiped off the map. But more importantly, Rosarito's right there. So I think the only way that they might avoid, fate is possibly, maybe, just say, you know what? Why are we doing this? Why are we chasing around one American? Is this worth it for us? Is the curse worth it? Because, see, they don't think so. Because the false religion has taught them that, hey, this is an ongoing situation. You let the bad guys do what the bad guys do, and then the rest of you just come to church, and we'll make sure things are all right. So if I'm the one speaking up about all this, and I only tell you barely half of what I know, that I've got no beef with anybody. I'd be doing the same thing if I was in China, complaining. I'd do the same thing if I was in Panama, complaining. I'd do the same thing if I was in Canada, complaining. I did the same thing in America. I complained. And guess what? We see what's left in America, a bunch of little turncoat Benedict Arnolds. A land full of these rabbit, foaming at the mouth hybrids with clueless, dumbed down Gentile Americans who think that everybody's the 144,000. How could this be? So let's see. Let's slow down again, folks. Now, these numbnuts, I'm going to do this for the last time, that these people, these hybrids have been placed a long time ago. The damage was done a long time ago. Now here's Pastor Stan. Look at those choppers, okay? This guy's got nice teeth, right? Very kind gentleman. He's trying to help people out. But there's a problem. By virtue of the slit eye, that makes him no good either, right, folks? That's what you tell me. That's what I see. If you look in the comment section of these, I don't know, man, it's like some of them look like they barely got out of the 5th grade. But do you see that? Now, look, folks, don't get scared. Don't get scared. Do you understand what you're looking at? So why do I have to keep doing this? Because you people don't get it. You live in a false reality. And while the world, yes, it looks like we got people on the job trying to fix things. But boy, there's a lot of attention placed on me, the satanic ritual abuse survivor with implants, which nobody else can come up with the testimony I have. And I am persona non grata. These assholes won't touch me with a 10-foot pole because they know they're all frauds. And it's actually quite sickening. Now, here's a picture when I was driving along the other day. There's your UFO, folks, with electromagnetic field around it, anti-gravity craft. Right there. Pretty interesting. What else can I show you? Are you guys, have you had enough of me? And see, look, with these Camaro Clown Club stalkers, they all remove the license plates because they don't want to be traced back to where these Camaros are. It's such a sad joke, folks, that these numbnuts, and look, when they respond to this video, how they respond is more stalking, more games. That's all they got. Who spends hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to get nowhere? All right, I'm still running my mouth, and I care about people. I would rather not be doing this. I'd rather just, hey, pretend that, yeah, okay, go to work, put your head down, keep your mouth shut, and hopefully when Satan and his fallen angels do come, they don't bend you over. What do you think's going to happen, folks? What do you think's going to happen? Watch out for the mark. That's all I can tell you. These flyovers. Blue underbelly, American Nazi reptoid perp plane has to keep coming to reset these implants for their false reality. What a joke. Montauk Project. What a joke. Disclosure using, who knows, that could be my footage. It sure does look like it, but what do I know? They just need me to go away. They just need me to go away, folks. Well, I guess that's enough for now. Hopefully, the good folk out there. Oh, the good news. The good news is my next video, I'm going to show you, and this has been done before, but I'm going to do it my way, of when Yeshua, our Heavenly Father's Son, was born. So please stay tuned. God bless as my voice goes. And look, don't be too hard on yourself. All right? Once I'm dead and gone, you're all next.